Hello, everybody. It's Daniel here. Welcome to Emotional English Podcast, the podcast where you learn an English language effortlessly, emotionally, fulfilled with energy, and of course, positively. Welcome, everybody. Another day, another chance to learn English. And first of all, I want to say that today we're going to start a beautiful episode about the greatest quotes of all time. And we will face Mahatma Gandhi, not in person, but in quotes. And this is a beautiful episode where you will try to learn English even deeper with reading beautiful quotes. I mean, I will read it for you. You will learn it from the podcast. So every single time while I'm teaching you the quote, so we're learning not just the quote meaning, we learn meaning and the vocab, focus vocab, and everything related to it. I'm giving more examples and maybe some correlations between the quote and real life to make it even clearer, right? So that's going to be very practical. But before we start, I just want to announce that we do have a beautiful podcast channel on our Telegram. So just go there and join Emotional English. If you're curious, because we post every single day about something interesting, about English learning, about some practical things about English, right? So if you want to be with us, go there and join our community. And if you want to support our podcast, there are two ways how you can do it. You can donate your beautiful finances to our podcast, or you can just rate this episode on the platform you're listening. That means a lot to me. It means a lot to the community. So that's why if you do it, you're doing a very good job. More and more people will hear about our podcast. So please vote, please like or subscribe, whatever you're doing there. It means a lot to me. Okay, so today we will face 5 quotes from Mahatma Gandhi. I will read them, I will comment them, and I will teach you some interesting phrases. So we will try to do our best, and we start from the quote number 1. One of the greatest quotes, maybe the most popular quote from Mahatma Gandhi. But first of all, maybe you don't know who is Mahatma Gandhi, right? First of all, we know that Mahatma Gandhi was an Indian lawyer. He was an Indian citizen, right? The person who lived in India. He was a politician. He was an anti-colonial activist, right? So he led the Indian independence movement against British rule using nonviolent resistance. It means he didn't fight with anyone, right? He was very nonviolent. So it means not acting violently, so without physical actions, right? He known as the father of the nation. So his philosophy is pretty simple: nonviolent civil disobedience. So what is disobedience? It's when you're not doing what the government is asking you to do, right? So it's nonviolent civil disobedience when civilians, the people who live in the government, they don't listen to the government. They just don't make any actions, right? So if, for example, if you understand that the government make money on taxes, right? So you don't go to the store, you don't buy food. So you trying to buy food from hand to hand, maybe a barter thing or whatever. So the thing is, it's your disobedience. You're not following the system, right? What the government expect from you. So, and when India was under control of Great Britain, British Empire, right? They had something similar. So they were not violently showing disobedience, right? So they didn't do anything what the government wanted them to do. And I think the name of this philosophy, Satyagraha. Satyagraha. That's the name of the idea, nonviolent civil disobedience. And now we know more about Gandhi, right? That he was a great man. He was showing us what to do. if you don't want to use violence, if you don't want to destroy things, because nowadays when riots happening, so you see the destroyed markets, damaged shops, right? This is not good. I remember this BLM movement in America or something else like this. BLM means Black Lives Matter. So I remember the destroyed places, demolished shops, and that's not good. So we should find alternatives. And Gandhi, he showing us this alternative, nonviolent civil disobedience, right? Okay, let's start from the quote, isn't it? I think we should do it already. So the first quote is pretty simple. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. I would read again. Be the change that you wish to see in the world, right? So this quote is calling for actions, right? It's call to action phrase. So when we look at the world, we always do what? We always say different things, like negative things like people should be nicer, right? Or someone should clean up the trash, right? We wait for other people to fix things, to do things, right? But Gandhi teaches us in this quote that we shouldn't wait. We should do it ourselves. So if you want a kind of world, to hear the kind of word, or if you want a kind of world, you should be kind first. If you want a cleaner world, you should pick up the trash. Pretty simple. Don't wait for the world to change, guys. Change yourself, and the world will follow your example. Pretty simple idea. And be the change. So if you don't like how your neighbor drilling the walls, right? Don't drill the walls yourself, right? If you don't like when people smoke on the street and drop this cigarettes, right, or something on the floor, don't do it. So just find or put the trash bin there. Make it cleaner, right? So be the change that you wish to see in the world. Very nice. Second quote is nice as well, and it's kind of connected to this one as well. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. This is a beautiful quote as well, because when you live as you were to die tomorrow, you try to live with maximum potential, right? You're maxing your life here and now. But when you leave and you always say, tomorrow, you always procrastinate, you always put off things, right? You say, tomorrow I will be better. Tomorrow I will do something. Tomorrow I will go to the gym. This is procrastination. This is not what you want, because live as you were to die tomorrow, right? Imagine that you are dying tomorrow. What would you do? You're going to do as more as you can today. This is very important. And if you have this philosophy, lived day by day, that's beautiful. That would make your life much, much nicer, right? And the second part of the quote is all about learn as you were to live forever. So it means never stop learning, and you're doing it already. So you are listening to this podcast. It means that you are developing, you're growing, you're improving your language. That's what you really need, right? So learn as if you were to live forever. So, and if we connect these two beautiful sentences together, we would live the moment here and now, and we would learn as more as we can here and now. And we would never stop learning. We would listen another episode and another tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, right? That's how it works. Thank you, Gandhi. That's a beautiful phrase for our personal development. But nothing about satyagraha yet, right? So nothing about it. But do you remember what is satyagraha? We just discussed it at the beginning of the podcast. It's a nonviolent civil disobedience when you're not following the rules or laws, what someone is asking you to, right? So that's satyagraha. Let's continue to the next quote. We already discussed two of them. And I think nothing hard as for vocab here, right? So everything is pretty simple. Change, wish, world, die, learn, forever. So if you die, it means that you not living anymore, right? Your body is under the ground. You're not breathing. You're not living. You die. So, and what does it mean forever? It means it means nonstop. Okay. So let's go to the quote number 3. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attitude of the strong. Or, sorry, that's not an attitude, attribute. But anyway, it's pretty connected, pretty the same. So the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. Again, very simple vocab here, but very beautiful phrase here. So when you are weak, it means the opposite of strong. For example, there is a weak man and there is a strong man. So we discussed weak people who are not strong, right? So the weak, it's the people, all of them who are weak, who are not strong, they can never forgive. It means they always thinking about negative information. They always thinking about problems, and they never forgive this. They never kind of release it, right? They never. They always hold it in their hands. You know, there is a popular story about two monks and the river and the lady, and you know they were walking and they had this like a vow. They made a vow to never touch the woman, right? And when one of the monks grabbed the lady and, you know, transported the lady to the next land, just across the river, right? Another monk asked the monk, like, why are you doing this? Why did you got this lady on you, right? And then just transported her across the river? Because we had a vow to never touch the woman. And, you know, the monk answered pretty quickly, look, I dropped the lady long time ago, but you're still holding it. You're still with that lady. So that's pretty the same about this quote. The weak can never forgive. The weak people always remember problems, arguments, and much more. What we have between people, right? Or sometimes we blaming people, right? That means that we're weak. We should forgive. When we forgive, and what is forgiveness? It's the act of forgetting things that really bad, right? Because when you stop being angry at somebody or at something, that's forgiveness. That's when you're practicing forgiveness. And it's better to forgive because when you have this skill to forgive, forgiveness is the attribute of the strong person. So that's the beautiful quote. So we learning how to forgive bad experiences, bad people, bad actions. We're trying to go further with forgiveness. It's a noun from the word forgive. Forgive is a verb. Forgiveness is a noun. It's a name of the attribute of a good, beautiful person, right? Strong person, not weak. Okay? So I hope it was pretty clear. Nothing else. An attribute is can be a skill. It can be an attitude. It can be the behavior you have, right? So that's the attribute. That's a quality you have, right? Forgiveness is one of the qualities, right? Another quality is, relentlessness, right? Or another one is resilience, something like that. All of this is good attributes of a good personality. Let's jump to the next quote. Quote number 4, the future depends on what you do today. And this quote is very, connected with the quote we just discussed, the quote number 1. Be change that you wish to see in the world, right? Be that change. And if you do it today, that correlates with the second quote. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. So live the moment, and things going to be much, much better. So the future depends on what you do today. And I like the quote of Abraham Lincoln here because it has some correlation. He said something like this, leave nothing for tomorrow that can be done today. When I was in USA, it was a very beautiful quote I saw. I've seen it on, I don't remember where was it. I think in Springfield. I was in the Lincoln Museum, and there was a souvenir shop there, and it's like a little stone, and on the stone there was a beautiful quote: "Leave nothing for tomorrow that can be done today." Right. So this is very close. The future depends on what you do today. So a beautiful connection here, or vocab we're learning, is what does it mean when something depends on something, right? You depend on someone. Let's say if you're a kid, you depend on your parents, right? Or your future depends on your parents' actions. But if you're an adult, so the future depends on your actions, what you do today. But you can use this quote as a kid as well, because you can say, look, if I do my homework today, tomorrow I will get an excellent mark. So the future depends on what I do today. Another example, if I listen to this podcast episode with Danila today, so that means that I will improve my listening skill. I will learn a couple new words, and that made me better, right? It made me much better person. So the future depends on what I do today. What kind of content I'm watching today means a lot. And if you haven't subscribed and if you haven't liked our podcast yet, do it now, because the future of the podcast depends on what you do today, guys. Not me, because I'm just making this podcast for you, but it depends on you, what you gonna do with this episode. Do you like it? So just click like button. That's it. And that would make a lot of sense to me, guys. And I hope it's your portion of appreciation. So the future depends on what you do today. I think it's pretty clear here. And now when things depends on things, it means that you have a very big connection, and it means that results rely on something else, right? Rely, another verb, right? So it's about connections. So you can rely on your friend. You can rely on different things, right? You can rely on your government. You can rely on many things. But if you rely on things, you depend on these things as well. So we live in a very dependent world, because to make this podcast, I rely on my microphone. I depend on my microphone, right? The podcast depends on the microphone quality, because if the microphone is very bad quality, I can't record the good quality of the audio, right? So that's a very close correlation, right? Passing the test depends on studying. Your English skills, your listening skill depends on the time you spend with English. If you want to be better with English, just spend more time with this. Pretty simple. And that's the quote about, right? So quote number 4, checked. And now we're diving into the quote number 5. And this one is pretty beautiful and pretty new. We will hear the idiom here, right? An eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind. And first of all, we have the idiom an eye for an eye. And the second phrase is about blindness, right? So because we're making the whole world blind. It's pretty simple here. An eye for an eye, it's an idiom like tit for tat, another synonym idiom here, right? It's like synonymical idiom. So we have an idea that if you hit someone would hit you back. So an eye for an eye, right? A tit for tat, right? So if you do something bad to someone, the someone would love to do the same to you. And it ends up making the whole world blind. I have no eye. You have no eye. So we are blind. Blind people, it's the people who cannot see at all. And, as I see here, Mahatma Gandhi trying to interpret the idiom an eye for an eye. If you lose the eye and you would try to kill an eye of another person, to remove an eye from another person, you both would be blind, right? The whole world would be blind if we act like this. And I think the best connection here is the story of Jesus Christ. The Jesus said to us that you shouldn't hit the guy. You shouldn't tat, right? You shouldn't attack the person if someone touched you, because if you do so, it would be forever. It would be the chain reaction. You hit, then the person hits you back, then you're angry again, you hit again, and it's non-stoppable until we're all dead, until we're all blind. We don't want this. So if somebody said something bad to you, try to tolerate this. I know it sounds weird. It sounds kind of weak, right? But this would make a lot of sense for the future. If someone dropped the garbage on the street, just relax and pick up this trash. It's going to be okay. Not now, but maybe in centuries, It's going to be better because at least you are understanding what's going on here and now. But if you would aggressively answer to people, make some arguments, shout a lot, that's an eye for an eye. And it only finishes with making the whole world blind. Catastrophe going to happen. That's what this idiom is all about. An eye for an eye, a tit for tat. It's about the cheek idiom with Jesus, right? Jesus said, if someone hit you on a cheek, right? So show him another cheek, right? Don't worry. It's okay. You are powerful enough to endure, right? And it's not a weakness. It's the strength. And I do believe in karma. I do believe in reincarnation. I do believe in my future life. If I do something like this now, I think I will have some benefits in the future because my understanding of a life is much bigger. Because I don't care what the person is doing. I care how do I respond. That's what I can control. I cannot control how the government make taxes or make something bad, right? But I can control my reaction. So an eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind. So it's not what we want. We want to respond consciously, right? With awareness, with understanding what's going on. If we do so, life gonna be much, much better. And that's the last quote, what I wanted to share with you guys today. So we learned the word blind. We learned a couple idioms, eye for an eye, tit for tat. We learned that things depends on things, that we rely on things, right? And that's all goes to different attributes and forgiveness that we should show to people, right? We should practice this attribute and make it stronger inside of us. We shouldn't die, but we should think about the death for tomorrow to be more effective. And it's all about our wishes. If you want to see the world as a nice place, do something, change something today. That's all the quotes we've got today, guys. We've learned a lot. The only thing we should do and know now is the actions, what you're going to do next. Are you going to change something? Will you wish to see the world in a different color or something like this, right? So let's read all the quotes again and clarify the meaning again. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. Yeah, you should be the change that you wish to see in the world. And I will ask you a reflection question here. Who are you today and how you can change today. What you can do today to see the better world tomorrow. I can answer this question for you, and you will have some time and answer this question too. I think I can be more patient because you know what? When I do have my lessons with my students, some of my students, they're just different, right? And sometimes I lose my control. I'm not patient enough, so I need to work on it. As a teacher, I should be more patient, and I'm trying to be patient, but it's not that simple. It's easy to say, but not that easy to do. So that's why the quotes like this motivates us to change, to be better. I have been practicing English. As a teacher, I've been teaching English for almost, 7 years? 6.5? I don't know. I think almost 7 years. It means a lot. So, and I'm still learning. I'm still progressing with this case of how to be patient, how to train your skills and be better. Let's go to the next quote. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. And now I just have one question here. So how you're gonna schedule your day. Will you put full schedule? Will you make your day as more filled or fulfilled with things as it possible? Is it possible, right? So if you want to make your life better, we should live effectively, and we shouldn't procrastinate because you die tomorrow, right? So learn as if you were to live forever. Do something today and grow every single day. That's very, very important. What kind of book are you planning to read this month? Maybe you want to watch another video for education. Maybe you're gonna have multiple lessons with your teacher. That's amazing. Do it. The next quote, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. Beautiful, beautiful phrase. So the weak can never forgive. We should be strong. We should learn and enhance our attributes. Forgiveness is the one of these attributes. We should be strong. What can make you strong, guys? In which area you can teach yourself forgiveness? Let me know. I think I can teach myself in the area of relationships with my family. Because, I still remember many troubles and problems from my childhood past. And I'm practicing forgiveness. I'm saying, okay, yes, I had troubles there. And I should say bye-bye to these troubles. I should release them. Let them go. Forgive them. That's the point. Next quote is, the future depends on what you do today. Yes. So if I record this podcast today, you would subscribe the podcast tomorrow, right? And what are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? What kind of future depends on what you're doing right now? What kind? So what do you do right now? And what kind of future depends on what you're doing right now? What do you want to see in the future? Is it connected? Are you playing a computer game today? And what kind of future you will face tomorrow if you do this? Maybe you should do something else. Maybe you should replace this with a book and learn something. Beautiful. So let's go to the final quote is, an eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind. So whatever enemy you have, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. We should learn how to be resilient, how to suck it up, how to endure, how to survive without a negative response, without an eye for an eye approach. Because if you would answer, there is a possibility that the whole world would be blind because you start the chain reaction. Chain reaction means you start, the next one continues, then the next one continues, then the next one continues. That's dangerous. Think about it. And that's all for today. So thank you guys for being with us today. We've learned a little today, and we discussed the beautiful person, Mahatma Gandhi, with his beautiful philosophy of satyagraha, nonviolent civil disobedience. That was great. And we learned these beautiful quotes because it's all about disobedience. This last quote, number 5, was about disobedience because you shouldn't be violent. You should be non-violent creature. And I think it's all for today. Thank you all for being with us today and have an amazing day. Have a beautiful day. I will see you very soon. Have a good one. And don't forget to learn English effortlessly, emotionally, fulfilled with energy, and of course, positively. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye, guys. See ya.